All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakar Kradash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is gonna be a video on this particular scripture or this particular concept that we know as Israelites concerning the whole Israel, Iran, America, Russia, China, NATO, how World War III is going to be kicked off situation, man. And it's a thing that I was thinking, considering everything that's going on now, right? And considering certain things that I've heard the so-called president of Israel say, right? And he said something along the lines of, today it's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it'll be New York or something like that, right? And then I was considering how America's saying, oh, we'll give you 2 weeks to decide if we're gonna get involved in that war. And I kind of think that they're not gonna. Now I could be wrong concerning that, right? That they're not gonna get involved now. I don't think that America wants to get involved in what's going on now. I think that they're too busy trying to worry about all the technological advancements that they're trying to do in compete with China to be really even thinking about that war situation like that, man. I don't think they're really trying to get into situations with going to war in any countries that have got strength themselves or that have got strong allies, man. I don't believe that they really care in that regard. Now, America might get involved within that situation in terms of through handing out weapons, which they've always give weapons to the country Israel anyway, right? But as far as them actually actively getting involved and stepping into the field as America themselves, I kind of don't believe that that's going to happen now. We know that they're going to get involved anyway, but like them getting involved now, I don't really believe that there's no need for them to get involved now. Now, when you consider Jeremiah 49 and 20, we know that Israel is going to cause for America to get involved anyway. So it doesn't matter whether it's now or whether it's a month from now or 2 months, whenever the time frame takes place that it happens, right? It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen, man. And it would make sense. Like, I'm gonna say something out there, and I really think this is a possible scenario that could take place to make this prophecy happen. Now, we know that this prophecy is going to be fulfilled anyway. We just don't know that the method and how this prophecy is going to take place, but we know that this prophecy is going to take place, man. So I'm going to read the prophecy, Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Now, this same prophecy is spoken of by Jeremiah again in another verse, in another chapter as well. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon. Right? So this prophecy is concerning Edom, but then the prophecy is also heavy concerning Babylon. Right? So the least of the flock of Edom is going to cause for all Edomites to get involved in what the least of the flock, the lowest level tribal people from the nation of Edom, meaning by smallest of numbers, is going to cause ultimately for all of the other all of the other Edomites to get involved in what they're involved in. Now, I just saw a picture, like a post that one of the elders put up, right, from Dallas, and it made me feel even stronger to do this video because it matches the thought process of what I think that Israel might do, man. And it was a thumbnail where it had Netanyahu saying, if we fall, all the other parts, right, all the other parts are gonna fall with us, right? Meaning we ain't finna drop alone. You think we're gonna fall and not be doing our thing, and you ain't gonna fall with us? No, you're falling too. That's basically what they're saying. I ain't finna fall alone. And that's how they're gonna be when we end up in our kingdom and in charge. Anytime they're catching an ass whooping because of a certain sin or iniquity that we end up receiving, that they did it in the Holy Spirit, they're gonna snitch. and be like, yo, but you know this nation didn't do it, like, thanks, but this don't stop your whooping that you're finna get right now. Now, let me read in Jeremiah 15:45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that ye have taken against Babylon, and his purposes that ye have purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So the prophecy is the same. This is the same prophecy, and it concerns Edom, and it concerns Babylon, not the ancient one. This is talking about Babylon the Great. Jeremiah 15:45 is concerning Babylon the Great, and it's concerning the Edomite nation in general. The least of the flock is going to cause for Babylon, which is America, Babylon the Great, which is America, to get involved, and Esau, Edom, to get involved. Right now, one thing that I was thinking when I looked up this word, because I was just thinking, man, America don't. I was looking at the whole situation. I was like, man, America don't really even seem like they kind of want to even get involved in this. You know, that they're saying, oh, Iran cannot have a this and then Iran cannot have a that, but they kind of don't look. They're kind of chilling. They're doing their thing. They got the World Cup next year. You know what I mean? They're trying to get their AI developments going, right? They're trying to make their thing great again. America right now is in a situation where it's kind of just trying to mind its own business. They're trying to get people to try and bring all their best technological people over to America. Bring all your companies here, all your wisest people, all your Chaldeans, right? Bring them over and make your wisest, your Chaldeans, bring everything, all their skills over to our country and build it here. That's basically what they're trying to do right now. So they ain't in the mode, they ain't in the mindset of trying to really be in war with anyone. You already heard how the president of America was talking to Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. He was saying, you're playing around with World War III. Now, isn't the country Israel doing the same thing by trying to get it going with Iran? Ain't they playing around with it too? But you notice that the wording towards them is kind of a bit different, right? It's kind of different, but it's still the same. It's still the same thing, man. Now, one of the things that I was thinking that the country Israel might do, considering how little America is interested, in my opinion, in seeming like they want to really jump it off and get involved in it like that, is that the country Israel might do a false. They might do a false. You know what, man? A false FLAG. I was thinking, what if they did a false FLAG? Would that cause for America to get involved if they did a false FLAG and made it seem like it was the country Iran that did that? Would that cause for America to get involved because they would have an attack on their land, and it seemed like it's another it seemed like it's Iran that's doing it, and then they can be like, see, we told you today it's Tel Aviv, but now look, it's America. I mean, New York, because it's very interesting that they were so specific to mention New York. Now, is Tel Aviv considered the New York of Israel? I don't know. I don't really know if that comparison is made. I would say when I've seen pictures of Tel Aviv that it more resembles Miami. But it's very interesting that they picked New York, right? And according to the image of the people, a so-called small hat, right, can physically wise look very similar to those people of that land, man. So it wouldn't be like they couldn't fake and stage something to try and make it seem like, oh, that was them that did it. It wouldn't be hard for them to do that. It wouldn't be hard because they've already tried to drag America into it right now. Right now by just straight up striking them, right, and knowing, okay, America's our ally, so they have to get involved. They've already tried it that way. It's not really seeming like America's really trying to do nothing, as far as I've seen, right? If some other information is out there, then that could be the case. But we know that Israel ultimately is going to draw, right? Amalek is going to draw all of Esau into this battle, right? And definitely Babylon the Great into the battle, right? These are the two prophecies right here that let you know this. Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20 again. Therefore, therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that ye have taken against Edom. So all you Edomites, the British, Swedish, all of y'all are going to get involved in this battle because of what the country Israel is going to do. You're all going to get involved, man. Now, some of these other Edomite nations are going to get angered that they've been made to get involved, right? And they're gonna turn against Babylon the Great. They're gonna turn against it, but they're turning against America, which is Babylon the Great, is ultimately really them turning against themselves, and they're all gonna lose because of that turning against America, because that's the source of their power. When you read Isaiah 13, it goes into how Babylon, which are the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, the glory of her person, that's America, right? America's the glory of your whole thing, man. And his purpose is that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Now, when you look up this word draw, I looked it up earlier. It says to drag, right? Surely the least of the flock are gonna drag your ass into it, man. They're gonna drag you into it. Now, what's one of the ways that they can drag you into it? A false, you know what, man? A false FLAG. That would definitely drag America into it if they was to do that. That would definitely drag them into it, man. Because if America decides, oh, we ain't getting involved, like they already like the reason why I'm saying this, because they already shown that they don't care about, oh, you're potentially a member of NATO, so we're gonna help you. They already shown that they don't care about that when it came to what's it called, man? Ukraine. They already showed we don't care. Give us 500 millions worth of resources, and then we'll put it all in a joint pot. They already shown that was telling the president of Ukraine, you ain't got no cards. Like, was anyone playing poker? But he was telling him that, yo, you ain't got the cards. You ain't got the cards to be even talking like that. He told him, he was basically like, yo, sit down, man. You ain't got no cards to be talking and trying to raise up your voice and telling me anything. You ain't got nothing. The Zelensky the Ukrainian guy was telling him, you don't feel it now, but you're gonna feel it in the future. He was like, yo, you don't tell me what I'm gonna feel. I'm gonna feel fine. I'm gonna feel very fine and very strong. That's what he was telling him, right? But Israel ain't finna go out like that. They're gonna drag, right? Let me read it again. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, but the word is really drag. They're gonna drag your ass into what they're into, man. They don't want. They're more grieved at Iran having that than America is. But they're like, nah, we don't want them to have it, so you better not want them to have it, and we're gonna drag you into it. So what would be the way that they can drag them into it? What would be the way? A false, you know what, man? That would be a way to drag them into it, man. And what could the false thing be? Well, there's plenty of things that could happen. And calling something a false thing, you know what I'm saying, right? That don't mean that no one really perishes. That don't mean that that people have not actually perished and it was all an AI. No, people can still really perish in a false, you know what? But it's a false thing because the actual person that really did it is never found out. It's never found out, man. But a false, let's just say that I'm right about this particular scenario, which I don't need to even be right about the whole scenario anyway, because the prophecy is this: Israel, in one way or another, this is the way we understand this prophecy, the country Israel, right, which is the least of the flock in terms of numbers of Edomites nation, right? This is the lowest tribe in number wise, the least number wise, right, than any of the other nations, right? Is gonna drag America and the rest of its own Edomite brothers into World War III. That's how we understand that prophecy. Now they already did something to Iran, so that's already dragging it. America saying we're gonna give you 2 weeks. Now I personally don't think America is gonna do anything after them 2 weeks. But if they do, that's still the prophecy being fulfilled. It's just the method that I said would be wrong. The prophecy is still the same, but I think it would be more make sense with how everyone would turn against America if it was a false thing, because then if evidence started coming out from via other Edomites to try and show, oh, we don't need to now start not dealing with Iran and trying to put sanctions on them because we're at war with them now, because we deal with Iran and we've got this and we got that from them. So they start trying to go out of their way to try and prove that the reason why Iran and America and now them are necessarily needed to try and go to war with Iran is not actually real, because it was not really done by who they said. And if America just decides still, now we ain't accepting that it was them, and they still, even though they found out that it was Israel that was to have did the thing that caused them a grievance, and Iran's being blamed for it, that would cause every country to be like, okay, so basically then, you don't care what the country Israel does. You're just gonna side with them regardless, and you're prepared to make all of our countries be lessened for financially and in all these other ways just because you love them more than you love us. So you know what? F y'all, and we're gonna turn it up on your ass, and you're the problem instead of them. In fact, you're the problem really. Forget Israel even being a problem. No, you are America, because no matter what they say, you are them. And they come to realize that America and Israel are just two different names of the same thing. And Israel would have then succeeded in being the least of the flock that drawed them, that dragged them out, man. Now, am I saying that this is definitely 100% of the way that this is going to take place? No. But it would make sense that that's one particular method that could take place. Now, again, the prophecy is the prophecy. The country Israel is going to drag America, which is Babylon, which is the Babylon that's mentioned in Jeremiah 50 and 45, and Edom, which is the whole nation of the so-called white people in general in the world. It's going to drag all of them into a fight, because when Israel does its madness, it's going to drag, and America starts getting involved in whichever method physically takes place on earth to get them involved. It could be what I said. It could be what they've already did right now that causes it to really kick off. It could be an attack happens on the land of America, and Iran either actually did actually do it, right? They actually did do it because of America siding with them. That's a possibility too. But I think the way that makes sense is that way. Now, again, I'm gonna say it again. We don't need to know every single intricate detail, just like how we don't know the exact need to know the exact method in which the MOTB is going to be made mandatory, or for what reason it's going to be made mandatory. Now, we know according to prophecy, Revelation 13, verse 16 to verse 17, that it is going to be made mandatory, but we don't need to know the exact method as to why. We don't need to, right? We don't need to know the exact method. We just know that it is going to be made mandatory. That's what we definitely know, because it's prophecy. Now, let me read Jeremiah 49 and 20 again. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that ye have taken against Edom, and his purposes that ye have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Now, remember the words drag. They're going to drag them out, drag them into it, drag them into this, right? Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So Israel could start getting jacked up, right? Could start getting jacked up by Iran, which they already are a little bit anyway. And they're like, man, we're getting smoked out around here, man. How and America don't seem to be helping. How are we gonna get America to help us with what's going on here? Because we're getting our asses whooped. How can we get it shaken so that America gets involved, so that we can get some ease up from this ass whooping that we're taking? Well, they ain't helping when they said they was gonna do that 2 weeks thing 2 weeks ago. It's been a month. It's been a this. It's been a that. It's been a few days since they said that. And they still ain't helping, right? We're getting our ass murked off, destroyed up around here, and it still ain't helping. So how are we gonna get them involved? How are we gonna draw them out? How are we gonna drag them out? How are we gonna drag them into this? How are we gonna, what's the word? Shakab. How are we gonna shakab them into this, man? How are we gonna draw them into this? How are we gonna drag them into this? Right? How are we gonna get them involved in what we're involved in so that they can help us? Because we bit off a bit more than we could chew here, right? And a perfect method that they could use is exactly what I just said, right? Now, is that gonna happen? We're gonna see, right? I think it makes sense, and I think that all the other Edomites then now start, after that, if that was to take place, starting to try and prove, oh, nah, this is a bit suspicious. I don't think it would be them. They would have no need to do that. They would have no need to do this. Just like how people try to say that it was Russia that destroyed their own pipelines, right? What need would they have to destroy their own pipelines when they can turn it off by the tap? What would be the need? And did they say they was going to do that? No. But America said that they would destroy it though, didn't they? America said they would destroy that pipelines. It's destroyed, right? And people have kind of got their own opinions on who did or who didn't do that. Well, if something was to happen in another country, especially America, which is Babylon the Great, right? The last time something happened there was the 9/11, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So if something was to happen there, let's say next year, right? When the World Cup's going off there and they was to get blamed, well, that's them getting dragged in, man. But either way it goes, them getting dragged in, they're gonna get dragged in to it. Israel is gonna drag them in. They're already trying to by what they're doing now, right? They just went out and was bold to try and do that attack because they're like, man, we got backup anyway. But the backup ain't came as speedy as they wanted it to come. It ain't came with as fast pace as they was hoping for it to arrive. But they're still trying to think about ways to get it moving, man. They're still thinking about it, and I think that this way makes sense. And I just wanted to do a video on that, man, because that would make sense with how the rest of the Edomites, one of the reasons why the rest of the Edomites would turn against America, especially if it starts to become that they start to go out of their way to prove, oh no, this taking place was ridiculous, and every single time we've actually agreed with America and do follow what America says, we actually end up worse off for this. So I think it makes sense, speculatively speaking. You know, these Edomites talk. I think it makes based on our quarterly assessments, I think it makes sense if we just get rid of Babylon the Great once and for all. But we can't come at them. I was hearing Apostle Tahar say it's going to be that he thinks of Revelation 18 is going to take place as a sneak attack, and that makes perfect sense because who's going to just straight up come after America? Why would it not be a sneak attack? It makes perfect sense him saying it that way, because why wouldn't it be a sneak attack? It speaks of it in the prophecy that these things are going to come upon them when they least expect it. It's going to be a shock to their system it goes into. Let me try and find the exact wording now. So lucky, 1 second. All right, so now I'm going to try and find the exact wording to try and see that prophecy. Revelation chapter 18 and verse. This isn't even actually the book that I should have went to try and go to that point, to be honest with you. I don't think it would have been more made sense if I went to Isaiah 49. But then there is still some points in there to mention as well. But let me go Isaiah 49 first. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse. Let's go with. Let's go with 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. They're gonna be like, man, which enemy was it which country was it that's sending these things our way? And they ain't gonna know who's doing it, man. It's gonna be all hidden. But then the Edomites that do it are gonna regret their decision instantly, because now Yahweh Shai is coming. and that's the thing. This World War III, man, it's got to happen, man. As scary as it, like, who ain't scared of seeing ICBMs flying through the sky, bro? Have you ever had a helicopter or a jet, like a air ambulance, fly around your neighborhood or anything like that? Have you seen how loud that is? Have you ever seen a wasp or a bumblebee, like one of them big bumblebees near your window or something? Have you heard how loud that is? So how much more seeing outside ICBM just flying through the sky, man, ricocheting up the world, man. That scene with Sarah Connor from Terminator, that's scary, bro. You don't even want to see that. You don't even want to get burnt touching the outside of a hot kettle, man. When you open your oven and you see that flash of hot air hit your eyes, that's bad enough. But the day that's coming is gonna burn. Let me read it, man. Let me read it. Right? Let's read. I was gonna make this video short, but let's just read this real quick, man. Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague with Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. So all your skin is gonna, if you get attacked, get met with this judgment, all your skin on your body is gonna fall off. You understand that don't feel nice, right? Get a little cut on your body and make some vinegar touch that, or a little salt or something, mate. That don't feel nice. You understand? That hurts, man. That don't feel nice. Bang your toe. That don't feel nice. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes. Have you ever been poked in the eye or accidentally got some liquid in your eye and your eye stinging a bit? Mate, that hurts. How much more your eyeball burning in its eye socket out of there? How bad's that? Oh, and let's continue. And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Have you ever burnt your tongue? Oh, I drank something that was I drank too much of a hot coffee and it was burnt my tongue a bit. And then now your tongue's all hanging out. You're like, your tongue's hanging out and that. That hurts, man. So how much more your whole tongue melting away inside your mouth, and on top of that, your skin's already burnt away, your biggest organ, and then on top of that, your eyes are not even in your eye sockets no more because they've burnt away. That don't sound like a good day by anyone's stretch of anyone's imagination. So this ain't something that we're just so desperate to see, but we can't get to the kingdom of heaven where we're going to be just chilling around on a hammock, eating mangoes with a big afro and a big, oh, you used to be a brother that didn't have hair. You don't worry, you got hair now. Yeah. You know, or you used to be bold in the Babylon kingdom. Okay, are you bold now, fam? No. And you're gonna be able to tell your grandchildren, oh, I used to be bold, and they'll be like, did you really? No, you didn't, granddad. No, you didn't. You're tricking us. They ain't gonna believe that you used to be not happy. Man, I used to be miserable in Babylon the Great. I cried and I was, oh man, I was catching hell in Babylon the Great. I couldn't even. I was worried about bills back in the old world. Bills? What's a bill, granddad? Oh, that was some stupid thing that we don't have to worry about now because we're winning all the time. Anyway, let's fly somewhere. You know what I mean? Oh, are we gonna fly by our bodies flying, or are we gonna do the chariots? How about we do both? We will fly and we'll make the chariots follow behind us. Oh, that sounds fun. And then you do exactly that. Or one day you want to go fishing and you end up accidentally fishing out some next big goldfish, some that you ain't ever seen. There's only one of those. There might be just one of them that Yahweh made for you that day, man. Who knows what kind of crazy things you're gonna be doing in the kingdom? But we can't get to see none of that though, without Babylon the Great getting destroyed. So if you're loving Babylon, you don't love. Let me say it. If you love Babylon, you don't love the kingdom, and that's why Yahweh don't make us win down here, man. Yahweh don't make us win down there. You might have tried a little thing with this or with that. You might have tried a little thing, or let me try this avenue to try and test the waters, see make money. And you'd be like, man, this plan that I had, it was supposed to work. It's damn near it should work, and it don't work for you, but the plan worked. Because Yahweh might not want you to have all that paper, bruh. You know, don't want you to. People will try and laugh and say, oh, that man wasn't a man of the Lord. That man weren't a man of the Lord, because if he was a man of the Lord, he wouldn't have died then. Okay, well, what about this then? Isaiah chapter 57 and verse 1, the righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. That person, right, that died, and this is just hypothetical scenarios, a man that's of the elect that dies, right, could have family members on this world right now that are not of the elect, and Yahweh knows that that man would really be hit to the soul to see them perish. So he can just make that man perish now. Then he don't have to see that happen. That's a possibility too. But scoffers don't know anything about that. All they know about is clapping on their keyboard, scoffing, copy and pasting a whole dissertation that no one ain't got the time to read, giving their little BS testimony of why they're no longer a Hebrew Israelite. But then black people have to rise up black people them and all that. But we're Israelites though. We're special, and there's something special about us, but it's not that we're the children of Israel. But we're special though. We're black and we run fast. And Mama Africa, and the black woman's a queen and she's God, but we're special. But it's not because we're the Israelites though. It's just because we're black special people. We're black and we're special, but the special thing about us is definitely not that we're Israelites. Don't ever think that this thing that you black people is special about you black people is that you're not black and that you're Israelites. No, it's not. You're not special because you're black. Let's be clear. This is how these clowns sound. You're not special because you're black. I mean, because you're an Israelite, right? You're special because you're black. But I'm not black. My skin's brown. Listen, man, you're black, okay? That's how these people are. You can literally disprove they're black with a mirror. You understand? You can't disprove we're Israelites with a mirror. I can disprove you're black with a mirror though, but you can't disprove I'm black with a mirror. And you can't disprove I'm black with a DNA test neither, because I don't believe that. I don't follow your DNA test, man, so you can't disprove it. Because I don't trust who you're saying the real Israelites are. Because when have you ever in your life said who we really are? When have you ever told the truth about anything? In fact, which date was that on the calendar that you was ever telling the truth about anything in your lives? Verse 2, and he shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. So a man can perish on the earth and still be of the elect. That can happen. There's going to be some people that get a sweet guillotine, which is going to be the biggest blessing of their life. They get like, let me say, this sounds awful. This sounds like, man, this guy bugged out. He's saying that a guillotine is going to, yeah, the guillotine hitting your neck in that day is going to be a blessing. And you might cry, you might have snot drizzling down your nose, or you might be roaring like a lion, roaring like, howling like a wolf on that day. You're like, run it, man. Yo, sing it. Yo, why you still talking for? Swing the blame, man. Come, man. What? You might be one of those brothers, or you might be one that's just praising the Lord, quietly, silently in your head to with your eyes closed. Either way, that blade swinging down on your head, neck in that day is a blessing, because you've helped fulfill a prophecy of righteous men that had the cojones to not take MOTB. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4, and I saw thrones and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his charagma upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with a Mashiach 1,000 years, right? 1,000 years is what it's going to take for you Edomites, man, to really, man, y'all have did it's a mad thing. Babylon the Great has not been around 1,000 years, but it's did 1,000 years worth of damage. After 1,000 years of us being in charge and them new bodies, that will be about where we would have been, right? Had not Esau, and had we have not fell during the time of King David and that, right? That's about what it's going to take for us to get back to where we're supposed to be at, man. So that we're like, okay, everything we lost, it's been rejuvenated now. We're back to where we're supposed to be there. And now we're finna just goodbye, so we don't need you. Oh, but I want to see, there ain't going to be no Edomite that's going to be able to negotiate. All right, I know I have to get destroyed. I'm an Edomite, right? And I know that the prophecies state, right, that Obadiah 1 and 18, I'm aware of that, but could I just, if you don't mind, right, just between me and you, could I just have like 24 hours? Like, I was wondering if I could just have a 24-hour, like, pay-as-you-go day pass to experience the kingdom of heaven just one day as a like, you imagine that? No, all of y'all gotta go, man. There ain't gonna be no day pass. Like, you know, when you might some fancy gym, you're like, I know I can't be a full member, but let me get this David Lloyd's day pass. Oh man, they got wipes in here. Oh man, they got jacuzzi. Oh man, they got a sauna. What? They got heated floors in here. Oh man, you get free waters. What? Oh man, look at the women. The women in this gym don't look like the ones in the other gym. These women look like they actually like training. All these women in here are like size 8 to 12 at least. Like in this gym. Oh man, that's like the women in the other gym I train. Like, Esau ain't gonna get to. Oh man, wow. So you're telling me that the Israelites have? Whoa. So every single Israelite can fly, man, and they all of them are attractive, and every single one of them's immortal. You sure? Esau ain't gonna get a chance to have a look and walk around our kingdom and have a day in the life of and try and see. No, you gotta go, man. You ain't gonna get another like a bit extra time. No, because would he have gave us some extra time? Would he have gave us some extra time? Now, I'm not gonna do. I don't think I'd ever do this, right? But if I do, it would be a thing that the Lord made me do. But you got this whole AI thing now, right? What would happen if we was to ask the AI to switch the scriptures, which I ain't gonna do it. But let's just say that there was a Bible that Esau was really loved, man. You think he'd be saying that we're chosen? No, he wouldn't do doing that. So why should we allow you to be having our covenant when you wouldn't allow us to have yours? Because in your world right now, you don't allow us to win with you. So why should we allow you to win with us, man? Huh? Why? Why should we? You've literally got your opposite Eden. You're trying to make a reverse Eden right now. But we're supposed to love you. You're trying to make you've got your own reverse 10 commandments, man, that you live by secretly. But we're supposed to love you, though. And we're supposed to not abhor an Edomite. I abhor an Edomite, man. You're talking about, and I ain't going against the scriptures neither, because that's not talking about an Edomite. That's talking about an Assyrian. I abhor an Edomite, man. I abhor them. And they abhor me. So there ain't no love lost around here. Don't abhor an Edomite. What are you people talking about, man? What are you talking about? Don't abhor an Edomite. What are you talking about? Does an Edomite abhor? And here's another thing that people love to always say: oh, the Israelites is supposed to be a light unto the Gentiles. Oh, so we're special then? But I thought everyone's an Israelite nowadays that believes in God. So when have these heathen been a light unto us? Was it in the Atlantic slave trade when they was whooping our ass? Was they a light unto us then? I don't think so, right? So when was they ever a light unto us, bruv? When was they a light unto us, fam? 1 minute we're not the chosen, then we've got to be a light unto the Gentiles. you know what I mean? Like the Israelites are supposed to. Here it is, the prophecy state on the heathen serving us, but they're telling us, oh, that we got to be a light unto them. But if they're meant to serve us though, so why are we being a light unto them for? It's absolutely ridiculous. Truly, it's ridiculous, man. The things that these people expect us to accept, man. We don't have to accept that, bro. We don't have to accept that. We have to accept a lot down here, but we don't have to accept what's in the what we see clearly written in the Bible. We ain't seen it. We don't have to accept that. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 17. For in 1 hour so great riches come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off. America, you're going to be dragged into it, right? Israel is going to drag you into it. And if you want to try and stop the prophecy, here's the advice, right? Don't say we didn't ever do nothing nice for you. If you want to not get destroyed and have to face the consequences of your actions, just don't go into World War III. Yeah, you said it to the president of Ukraine. You're playing around with World War III. You better not play around with World War III. If you want to keep your kingdom and have the power over the world and all that, you better not. But here's the thing: these other countries economically are getting ready to surpass you. So you want it really at the same time, because that's going to be your way to try and bring their stock down and raise yours up. Because while you was the winners in the earth, you was able to build up through debt and spend loads and loads of money on weaponry. So that's one of the things that you trust in. But you're going to lose that battle as well. The one battle that you thought, oh, okay, they can win a little this and a little that, but we'll win a war if it goes off. No, you're not going to win that either. That's the problem that you don't want, man. Because that's the end of y'all. But you ain't going to listen. You're still going to do it anyway. We could tell you, we could give you you could literally ask your AI every single problem that you've got right now and what we need to do to just win. And you could try and think, okay, we're just going to follow these things that they say, and this actually would work. No, it's not going to work, because you're going to be forced to do what you're supposed to do, which is bring in that battle, man. You're going to be dragged into that battle. And the scriptures go into the reason why you're going to be dragged into it. You should have picked your own cotton, man. You should have picked your own cotton. You should have never put your hands on the children of Israel. You should have picked your own cotton. Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. So Yahweh is really the one doing the dragging. Yahweh's dragging all you nations. He's going to use Israel, the country, not the actual real people, to drag all of you nations into this battle, man. All of y'all are getting dragged into this, right? And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage. Israel, that's talking about us, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, all the people that the world hates. You know them Mexicans that y'all like to say, yo, just mow my lawn, and I'm gonna pick you all up from Home Depot, cut my grass, yeah, make me a taco, yeah, sombrero, yeah. You like to try and laugh at them call them border hoppers and all this, yeah, them people. You know them Native Americans that you like to call spear this, chief tomahawk and all that. You got all your dumb jokes that you got for them, yeah, them. You know them so-called black people that y'all love. Oh my days. Y'all love, you know them so-called black people that you love to hate and torment, make your black jokes about, yeah, them people. Yahweh's going to plead with you there for them, right? Whom you have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Yahweh's going to destroy y'all in the same land that you stole from the children of Israel, man. That's going to be the place where y'all are going to get messed up the most, apart from Babylon the Great. And you're going to wish you picked your own cotton on that day. You're going to wish, man. And you're going to be fighting with Yahweh Shai everywhere that Yahweh Shai wants to fight with you on the earth. Good luck. You're going to need it. Yeah, because you ain't winning that battle, man. Take the most impressive Jake, right, that you can find on the earth, the most impressive so-called black man, most impressive Latino, most impressive Native American, and they don't compare. Even if you multiply them by infinity, they don't compare to what Yahweh Shai is going to look like when you see him. All you stinking nations out there, man, that you stink. You're going to find out that you should have kept, man. Watch, man. Like, you might not like the way I'm saying it. Okay. So, why would you like to hear about your own demise? You're going to pay. You're going to have to pay for what you did to us. You're going to pay. Right? Israel is going to drag. They're going to Shakab, Babylon the Great, and all the rest of their other Edomite brothers into this situation, man. And I already said one of the things that I think could cause that. Right? One of the things that brothers have already been speaking about has happened anyway if Israel attacked them. Right? Which they've already did that now. But it can get worse though. America would really get involved then if an attack happened on their land and they perceived that it was done by Israel. That would really get them involved. For real. And on that, I'm going to say shalom, man. Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.